The disappearance of Kayla Nice, a 23-year-old University of California student who vanished near the coast in Santa Cruz, California, on September 14, 2025, after a late-night beach walk. Her case is ongoing. Deeply reported by major outlets and confirmed via Santa Cruz Sheriff's Office updates and local media investigations. On September 14, 2025, Kayla Nice, a 23-year-old art major from Oakland, stepped away from her dorm to watch the waves. The air was crisp, salt-kissed, and the full moon stitched luminescent threads across the water. She wore a puffy rain jacket over joggers, carrying just her phone and earbuds. No one held a sign for her return. She said last goodbye to her roommate at 11:07 p.m. He watched her go toward West Cliff Drive, drawn by moonlit tides. She was idling in soft footprints, preparing to video the surf when everything went still. At 11:38 p.m., another student saw a phone screen glow near the shoreline, but if she stood there, the foam swallowed her. There was no phone, no jacket, no name. The world knew she was gone. Responding deputies searched from harbor to surf line wading through breakers, scanning weebles. They found her footprints that ended abruptly where waves licked the sand. A single cast-off earring, drone lights swept rock battlements. Surfers lit the night with flashlights, peering for her form in cold, uneven currents. Water doesn't keep secrets, the sheriff said. It usually tells truth, if you listen. But on that night, the ocean told nothing. The campus held a vigil on the quad. Peers read her poetry aloud as torches blazed. In her art studio, her half-finished painting of foamy waves dripped unseen. Her brush lay on the easel. The sheriff posted a $25,000 reward. Drones, jet skis, vessel search teams expanded. Coast Guard swept the bay. The community formed human chains along the lower cliff trail. On day 3, a fisherman found her canvas tote washed offshore, salted, bedraggled with her sketchbook inside, pages curled with tide. Inside was an unfinished poem, "Silver moon guides me home," but double quotes, the final line erased by time. Investigators collected every artifact, digitized each page, shadow-enhanced the night's last moments. They canvassed witnesses at a parklet where Kayla stopped for coffee at 10:52 p.m. One barista described her smile and downhill wave. Another jogger saw a silhouette pause to take a photo of the moon. Her phone last pinged at 11:15 p.m. near Cliff Lot. See messages to friends remained unopened. Social algorithms mapped her steps backward to a checkout line, then forward into absence. Nothing but waves responds now. Her parents flew in. They sat on the beach beneath a quilt of stars that mirrored the surveillance footage layout. Candle barrels around them, they lit a sea of longing. Psychologists spoke of tidal force remnant energy that takes a life and reverberates. Many students repeated her final words, "See how high the prince climbed." And they did, footprints on a cliff path, etched into people's hearts forever. On day 5, new security footage emerged. A small quartet walking briskly on the upper bluff at 11:33 p.m. Silhouettes, blurry, indistinct. They came within eyesight of the shoreline camera, but not close enough to see Kayla. Investigators slowed it frame by frame. Someone wore a distinctive mermaid laminated phone case. Someone's reflection seen on glass where Kayla once stood. A forensic team recovered sand from her tote, matching spots in the tide retainer walls, and a small crevice bride that helped define the currents. With models, they simulated drift patterns, predicting possible deposit zones along a 2-mile arc. Search teams pivoted. Now small boats, kayakers, and cliff volunteers shifted west and southeast. Flyers were posted in shops, shuttles, buses. "Have you seen Kayla's jacket?" A reminder she was here. On day 7, the community held rope lantern vigils at the shoreline, each flicker naming her fear, naming her hope. But each sunrise feared by the ocean, each moonlight stayed blank. The sea knew her disappearance better than anyone. The question remained. Did she slip on a rogue breaker, or did someone lead her intentionally into the night? Investigators interviewed locals who'd enjoyed evening walks along the same cliff. One recalled a flickering lantern on a private fire escape above the walkway. Another said a dark sedan idled near the stairs at 11:30 p.m. Both memories saved. Detectives are crossing timelines, pings, frames. Meanwhile, emotional bearings surged onward. A fundraising art installation titled Stars for Kayla now longs for a name filled in. Spaces in white ceramics shaped like her prints. The campus mental health office saw lines of students grappling with grief and the fear that silence can be enough to swallow someone. If water hides, it also preserves. Kayla's tote proves that. Investigators believe debris may drift ashore, half-submerged drawers. Currency, a scarf, maybe a sign with her name left behind. The Coast Guard reminds, keep searching, even when it's water doing the talking. This is no longer just her story. It is one of every person who walked home under streetlights, trusting unseen guardians. And now, those same footsteps demand we look again, so that the only ocean that stays silent is the one that hears more questions than apologies. If memory is a wave that never forgets, what did you see when the moon was full and the shore was empty? Video script 1100 characters plus CTA. A late night walk, an art student steps onto the shore. Her footprints are found, then vanish under the surf. A tote returns battered, with her half-finished poem inside. Her last words, silver moon guides me home, but ... double quotes, no body, no phone pings, only tides, time, and dwindling memory. Search teams sweep the bay. Cliffs and drones trace her possible path. Grief and grief light wax together like tides. If you saw a flicker near the water, one shadow behind the dunes, what story would you tell to bring her back to land?